Hello, this is Whatcast. I'm Matt. Today, I can't believe this. I'm going to talk about this Huw Edwards thing. Right? I see the news yesterday. I was going to do a show yesterday talking about it, but I couldn't get round to it. I couldn't find time. Excuse the censorship insanity. That I can't say certain words on certain platforms, otherwise they deprioritize in the algorithm, the videos, etc. So I'll try and work around that. But I just wanted to cover this story because it was disgusting. Right, let's have a quick look at it then. So here we go. This is it. Huw Edwards. So Huw Edwards, latest ex-BBC newsreader, leaves court to media scrum. Mugshot released. Reputation in tatters. Oh dear, Huw. What a shame. Reputation in tatters. Judge tells him. So the judge has tried to, the judge has given him a really lenient punishment here. But then said, well, your reputation's in tatters. Oh, that's all right. Then he's absolutely dealt with then as his reputation's in tatters. Huw Edwards has avoided jail over child abuse image charges that he admitted in July. The disgraced newsreader paid up to $1,500 to the convicted P who sent him the images. The court heard at his sentencing while he said he was profoundly sorry. Yeah, of course you are. You probably weren't sorry when you was bashing one out though, Huw, was you? There's some key points there, right? But let's do this because they've kind of worked Sky. This is on Sky. This is the source, Sky. They're kind of like work backwards, which is a little bit weird, the way they do it, but I'll make of it as much sense as I can. We're ending our live coverage. For some reason, they say that they've been talking about this for a while. This is the summary, right? The 63-year-old former BBC newsreader was sentenced to 6 months in prison, suspended for 2 years after he admitted 3 counts of making indecent images of children. So if I pause every now and look a bit confused, I'm working on a new system here, as you might notice if you ever watched this channel before, where I'm not really sure what's what at the moment. I'm just making the best of it as I can because I've changed a few things. 2 years admitted 3 counts of making indecent images of children. So that's bad enough. He arrived at Westminster Magistrate Court today, shortly after 9 a.m, wearing a blue cardigan. Why does any of this matter? Over a white shirt. He's gone for the blue cardigan over white shirt look. The autumn look for the BBC. And pulling along a small suitcase. I was looking for he was expecting a bit of bird then, old Huw, right? In front of a packed public gallery of journalists, prosecutor Ian Hope revealed more details of his crimes. There he is there, looking bit, I can't even say the word, looks like a bit of a P there. P, and pick your P, could be numerous things. The court heard Alex Williams, then a 19-year-old student, contacted Edwards through Instagram before they talked online between early 2018 and the summer of 22. Veteran broadcaster Edwards was arrested on November the 8th last year after WhatsApp messages sent between the pair were discovered as part of an investigation into Williams. How unlucky was Edwards here? He'd still be on the TV if it weren't for this Williams being a dickhead, right? Because I was investigating Williams, who was handed a 12-month suspended sentence earlier this year. So he also got away with it, right? Because that's what a suspended sentence is. Let's not fool ourselves. He had been downloading indecent images of children from the dark web and distributing them to people. It wasn't distributing them to wildebeests then. It was people. Why would they put the word people in there? The conversation was often sexual in nature, and Edwards paid Williams a total of $1,500 as gifts or presents. Although the judge found these were not direct payments for indecent images. The judge found that, did he? So how exactly did the judge find that? Yeah, I believe you, Mr. Edwards. You just liked the guy and wanted to give him £1.5 just because you thought he was a nice bloke. Wasn't in any way gifts. There was not payments for child trafficking. Look, this is what pisses me off the most about this, right? Fair enough, he hasn't actually done anything himself. He's just looked at things online. Like somehow that's okay in these people's opinion. But what he is doing is he's enabling the abuse by paying for the abuse so the abuse will continue. Wankers like this, right? But he's deeply sorry, so don't worry about it. In one message, Edwards told Williams to go on when asked if he'd like some naughty pics. Ooh, would you like some naughty pics? Oh, go on then. I've got to be on the news in a minute, though. It's a virtue signal about COVID or something. Before he was sent a video showing a boy aged between 7 to 9. But in others, the journalist asked him to not send images of anyone underage, and Edwards insisted pre-sentence reports that he doesn't have a sexual interest in children, just 7 to 9-year-olds, though. Not younger than that. That's all right, surely. Edwards barrister Philip Evans KC, what does that even mean? Kennel Club, told the court how profoundly sorry he is and highlighted the mental health issues he suffers from. He is currently an inpatient, another excuse here, in the private Nightingale Hospital mental health facility in central London. Is that the Nightingale Hospital that they opened for COVID and never used? Now they've got Edwards in there and other people that are actually P's that are, pretending, I'm not actually a P, I'm just a bit mad. Sentencing Edwards, Chief Magistrate Paul Goldspring said his long-earned reputation is in tatters. I don't even really, to be honest, I recognised Edwards when all this come out. I thought, oh yeah, I know him on the news. But if someone said Huw Edwards, like when his name first come out as the bloke that this was all, because there was all rumours, weren't there, online and shit. I thought, I don't know who that is. And then even when I see him, I thought, do I know him? It's only when like you see that when people show the clips of him, talking about the Queen, like, oh, sad to report the Queen is unalived. Can I say dead? I don't even know anymore on here, right? Then I thought, oh yeah, I do recognise him. It is that bloke that I thought it was. Anyway, the judge said it's obvious that these are extremely serious offences, but was satisfied he could suspend the sentence, saying Edwards doesn't present a risk or danger to the public at large, and specifically children. What about the public at small? Does he have a danger to them? The BBC spokesperson, oh yeah, that's the guy we want to hear from, said he had betrayed not just the BBC, but audience who put their trust in him before he left court to face a media scrum. Savile, none of you cared. As part of his sentence, Edwards must complete a sex offender treatment program and 25 rehabilitation sessions. Just the 25. Don't need 26. I'll be done on 25. After 25, I won't have any more of these thoughts. I don't need a 26th one. No, you're not going to stop. It's like saying, right, these people are fucked in the head, right? You're not going to suddenly stop them having a sexual interest in children. Your kink is your kink, right? You ain't gonna you can't give someone 26 lessons and they're no longer gay. If that's their preference, you can't give someone 26 sessions and they're no longer into bondage or whatever. This bloke's into kids. He ain't gonna be now. We're training him out of it. He will also have to sign the sex offenders register for 7 years. Just a 7. I think 8's a bit extreme. And pay $3,128 in costs. Where'd I get that figure from? Yeah, I think that a reasonable amount here is a 6-month suspended sentence and £3,128 in costs. Following the court proceedings as they happened, by scrolling down through this page, read, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so that's an overview of what he ended up with and what he actually did or whatever. Now let's quickly flick over here to the reasons that he's potentially, let's try and straighten this up here. How does that look? Still getting used to this. Right, might have to shrink it down a bit. The reasons That'll have to do. That he it was spared jail time. Right. Let's have a look. Let's read on. Oh, we've got to put this crap video up. Right, forget about the... Oh, no, I've got it now. No, this is the weird thing that they try to make you buy this stuff. So let's have a look here. These are the reasons. Disgraced former BBC presenter Huw Edwards has been spared jail after admitting accessing indecent images of children as young as 7. So blah, 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 blah. We've just read say all of this. He's betrayed the BBC. So below we take a look at the reasons why Edwards avoided prison time. Right, let's see his reasons why he avoided going to the jail. Right, the chief magistrate went through the mitigating factors he was taking into account when sentencing Edwards. He said he believed the former broadcaster's remorse was genuine and that his mental health at the time of the offences, so he just went through a bit of a bad patch. I'm going through a bit of a bad patch in a minute. Give me some 7 and 9-year-olds to have a look at. That'll make me feel a bit better. Defence barrister Philip Evans, Casey, told and recognised that he betrayed his priceless trust, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so therefore he's got remorse. Therefore, that's one of the mitigants. There he is. Who sits in court drawing these pictures, by the way? Mental health. As mentioned, Edwards' mental health was amongst the mitigating factors taken into account by the judge when sentencing the former broadcaster. A psychiatrist's report referenced by the chief magistrate in his sentencing remarks concluded Edwards was a considerable risk of harm from others. And the risk of taking his own life was high and significant if he was in prison. So, yeah, for his own safety, let's not put him in. Yeah, let's say he's at a risk in there. So we can't do that, right? Absolutely ridiculous. A separate report conducted by a psychosexual therapist said the feelings of being desirable and unseen, alongside Mr. Edwards' unresolved sexual orientation, created a perfect storm where he engaged in sexual infidelities and became vulnerable to people blackmailing him. He was just blackmailed, that was all. Concern over Edwards' mental... Just blackmail. Do you want to say this? Oh, go on then. Let's look at something naughty. Blackmail. There he is, looking a bit dishevelled. Dishevelled, is it? Low risk of reoffending. How they know this how? The judge believed Edwards presented... The joke of it is Edwards would have been on the news looking down his nose had this been anyone else doing this, right? He said... I am of the clear view that you do not present a risk or danger to the public at large, specifically children. There's no realistic prospect of rehabilitation. Oh, sorry, there is a realistic... I don't think there is, mate. No previous convictions. The sentencing judge highlighted Edwards' previous good character. He's just a good bloke, generally. He's a bit of a laugh down the pub, Edwards. I quite like him. The chief magistrate said, perhaps it does not need saying, but you are of previous good character. The judge said he accepts Edwards as being exemplary, good character, having enjoyed a very successful career in the media. So did Savile. It's obvious that until now you were highly regarded by the public. I didn't know who he was, but now I know he's a beep. He continued, adding that Edwards was perhaps the most recognised newsreader journalist. It's not an exaggeration to say that your long-earned reputation is in tatters. With no, broad interpretation of making indecent images. So there's a broad interpretation. So therefore, just because it's said that he made them doesn't mean he actually made them. That's literally what it says there. Don't want to go through that again. Guilty plea. Edwards entered a guilty plea at the earliest opportunity. Did you do it? Yes. No prison then. The former newsreader admitted charges of making indecent photographs at Westminster Magistrate Court. What, he made them in the court? He probably deserved a bit of a prison sentence then. We're talking to you. We're just trying to sentence you, Mr. Edwards. What you done? I'm just making some images over here. Sorry, indecent images over here. Length of sentence. According to the Sentencing Council guidelines, any custodial sentence that is of a length between 14 days and 2 years can be suspended. The court may suspend the sentence for between 6 months and 2 years. Edwards' sentence to 6 months imprisonment was suspended for 2 years by the judge. Right, so the reason this annoys me so much, obviously there's obvious reasons why this annoys me so much, but one of the reasons it annoys me is because of the ridiculous country that I live in at the moment and the ridiculous rules around other things. This is, to me, this is the most serious crime. Obviously not physically doing stuff, that is more serious, but enabling the abuse of children is a very, very serious. I think it should be way up there, right? But instead, let's check this out, right? This is obviously on the X. So this is what people are thinking about him. But there's people genuinely have gone to prison recently for having the wrong opinion and for tweeting the wrong opinion. Now, in some cases, I can understand why the hammer has to come down on people if they're inciting things and whatever. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. But is it worse than child abuse? This person here, welcome to Britain, where files avoid jail time and you get a 2-year stretch in prison for tweeting your opinion in the current state of affairs. So this is an actual video that I'm not going to play of a judge sentencing someone to 20 months in prison for posting on social media. I think it's down here. Huw Edwards, 6 months suspended sentence, yet gets sent to prison for tweeting about illegal immigration. Unbelievable. Imagine tweeting something and receiving 3 years in prison, but noncing and paying for indecent images of 7 to 9-year-olds, and he did pay for it. It wasn't just here's some money because I'm a good guy. Points being hard, and you receive a suspended sentence. Country is effed, ran by a effing lying shithouse and noncy justice system. Yeah, you could. That's a potential to upset Kia there. The Twitter post, so there's a bloke that got, this was in August, a Twitter post that got a guy a 2 years prison sentence, had 9 likes and less than 500 views. Now, I know all about getting less than 500 views and 9 likes, less than. Is that really changing the world? If someone puts a tweet out that so few people see, completely, what has that incited anybody to do? Most of those 500 views will be people seeing it and scrolling on. So the engagement was 9. 2 years for that. Insanity. Inciting a riot, as the British call it, the UK is a totalitarian dystopia and you should never, ever go there. I don't know who that is saying that, whether they live here or not. Yeah, and then we've got some other stuff there. So anyway, also there is just to take it to extremes. There's another situation in this country, like the stupid things that people seem to care about versus the things that they don't. If you take your child out of school in this country, you are potentially, if you keep doing it against the warnings, the end threat is a prison sentence of 2 to 3 years, I believe. But not for Edwards making indecent images. I'll leave it there. And I'll leave this there. Just thought I'd get this out there, testing this new stuff out, seeing how it goes. Thanks for watching. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. If you're watching this, please give it a like. We need to beat the algorithm here. We really, really need to. It's very, very important. We were shadow banned a long, long time ago, and it's time to, I don't want to have to go to the R thing, the other video thing. Cheers. See you later.